Hey there. Welcome to Chris's Texas Sports Podcast. I am Chris, by the way. Today we take a look at the Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern football teams. A look at sports in Texas in 1935 and the Houston Apollos of the Central Hockey League. Last season, the Prairie View A&M Panthers, led by head coach Bubba McDowell, had a record of 6-6, 6-2 in the SWAC. Their offense scored 19 points in non-conference games and 24 points in SWAC games. So Coach McDowell brought in former Panthers wide receiver Anthony Whedon to be the offensive coordinator. The Panthers are picked to win the SWAC West title this season. The Texas Southern Tigers, they're in Houston, had a 3-8 record last season under head coach Clarence McKinney. They won 2-6 in the SWAC, and Coach McKinney's contract wasn't renewed after the season. So TSU went and hired former Oilers Pro Bowl cornerback Chris Tishman as its new head coach. Now, Coach Tishman is focused on laying the foundation for success on the field for the Tigers. Texas football has the Tigers picked to finish fifth in the SWAC Western Division, and linebacker Jacob Williams is one of Texas Football Magazine's top 5 players in the SWAC to watch this season. Now on Wednesday, we'll take a look at Angelo State, Sul Ross State, Texas A&M Kingsville, UT Permian Basin, and West Texas A&M. Next, to look at what happened in sports in Texas in the year 1935. The year 1935 saw three teams in college football teams in Texas crowned as national champions. The 1935 SMU Mustangs football team, under head coach Matty Bell, had a 12-1 record with a 6-0 record in the Southwest Conference, good enough to win the Southwest Conference. They were the national champions as recognized by the Dickinson system and the Howgate system polls. All-Americans for the Mustangs that year were halfback Bob Wilson, guard J.C. Wetzel, and tackle Truman Spain. The 1935 Austin College Kangaroos football team had a 7-2 record with a 4-0 record in the Texas Conference, and that won them the conference championship. Their coach was Bill Pierce. The 1935 Baylor Bears football team, under head coach Morley Jennings, had an 8-3 record with a 3-3 record in the Southwest Conference. The 1935 Hardin-Simmons Cowboys football team, under head coach Frank Kimbrough, had a 6-3-1 record with a 2-0 record in the Texas Conference. The 1935 North Texas State Eagles football team, under head coach Jack Sisko, had a 5-3-1 record with a 3-1 record in the Lone Star, and they won a co-championship in the Lone Star. The 1935 Rice Owls football team, under head coach Jimmy Kitts, went 8-3 and had a 3-3 record in the SWC, or the Southwest Conference. The 1935 Sam Houston State Bearcats football team, under head coach J.W. Jones, had a 3-6 record and went winless in the Lone Star. The 1935 Southwest Texas State Bobcats had, under head coach Joel Bailey Cheney, went 2-7 and had a 1-3 record in the Lone Star. The 1935 TCU Horned Frogs, under head coach Dutch Meyer, had a 12-1 record with a 5-1 record in the Southwest. I think the only loss was to conference champion SMU, but they also won a share of the national championship, as they were voted champions by the Williamson System poll. Quarterback Sammy Ball earned All-American honors. The 1935 Texas A&M Aggies, under head coach Homer Norton, had a 3-7 record with a 1-5 record in the Southwest Conference. The 1935 Texas College Steers football team, under head coach Ace Mumford, had a record of 9-0-1 with a 5-0-1 record in the SWAC. They were the Black College Football National Champions and also the champions of the SWAC. Quarterback Paps Walker was the team's MVP. The 1935 Texas Longhorns football team, under head coach Jack Chavigny, had a 4-6 record with a 1-5 record in the Southwest. The 1935 Texas School of Mines Miners football team had a 1-8 record. They went winless in the Border Conference. Their coach was Max Saxon. The 1935 Texas Tech Matadors football team, under head coach Pete Coffin, had a 5-3-2 record and an 0-1 record in the Border Conference. Next, we'll look at the Houston Apollos of the Central Hockey League. Okay, the Houston Apollos of the Central Hockey League actually had 2 stints in Houston. The first was from 1965 to 1969, where they were a minor league affiliate of the Montreal Canadiens. Then they came back in 1979, shortly after the original Houston Aeros of the WHA folded in 1978, and this version of the Apollos played from 1979 to 1981. Hall of Famer Mark Messier played for the Apollos in the 1979-1980 season before he was signed with the Edmonton Oilers, where he ended up playing on their Stanley Cup teams and also helped lead the New York Rangers to their first Stanley Cup in 54 years back in 1994. I remember watching that. Anyway, in preseason NFL action, the Houston Texans beat the New York Giants 28-10. The Texans intercepted Giants quarterback Daniel Jones twice. Here he's coming back from injury. The Texans will play the Rams at home next Saturday at noon. The Cowboys beat the Raiders 27-12. Cowboys quarterback Trey Lance threw a touchdown pass and also rushed for another. The Cowboys will play the Los Angeles Chargers at home next Saturday at 3. In MLB news, the Astros have put pitcher Ryan Presley on the 15-day DL, or 15-day IL. I remember it used to be called the DL back in the day. They called up pitcher Seth Martinez from AAA Sugarland. The Astros have won 9 out of their last 10 games. Before the Rangers game against the Twins on Saturday, they honored former Ranger player Adrian Beltre, who went into the Hall of Fame last month. In fact, the day he went into the Hall of Fame, I went up to Arlington and saw the Rangers play. The AL West standings right now, the Astros are in first place, followed by the Mariners, the Rangers in third place, the Angels in fourth place, and the A's in fifth place. The Astros are number 9 in the power rankings. They had been number 11. For that, former UT quarterback Colt McCoy has retired after 14 seasons in the NFL. He's going to be an announcer for NBC calling Big Ten games. Baylor coach Dave Aranda has labeled his offensive line unheralded after last week's scrimmage, or Saturday's scrimmage. Well, that's all I got now. I guess I'll let you go. I know I've taken up too much of your time. I'm obviously not the best talker out there. You could hear better podcasts than this one, which you probably do. But I do thank you for checking it out. And I thank you for hitting the download button, leaving a like and a rating, and following and subscribing. Have a good day.